Your Locked On Capitals, your daily podcast on the Washington Capitals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Get it going here talking about Ryan Leonard, and I haven't seen this amount of excitement for a Capitals player, future Capitals player, in quite some time. There was some buzz that he would join the team as the Capitals made their push for the playoffs, but then the word came in that he wanted to play his sophomore season back at Boston College. And he did have one heck of a career or I should say last season for the Eagles. And if you're not familiar with Ryan Leonard for whatever reason, Leonard is a 19-year-old forward from Amherst who was selected by the Capitals as the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NHL Draft. Although primarily listed as a center, Leonard has displayed his versatility by playing all three forward positions with the U.S. national U18 squad. His partnership with Gabe Perreault and Will Smith has been formidable, and the trio will continue to show the case their skills at Boston College next season as well. Maybe. There has been talk that Will Smith might take his next step, and potentially that there is a possibility that the Capitals will, give the full court press to Ryan Leonard. Is there the possibility that somehow, some way he joins the Capitals? It remains to be seen. Talking about Leonard here and his string of success with the U18 team and how he was big in the team success, winning gold at the U18 World Championships. Leonard's performance was remarkable with 94 points in 57 games with the U18 and 20 points in 17 games in the USHL. He was instrumental in leading Team USA to a gold medal in the U18 World Championship. He has been clutch on pretty much every stop that he's made along the way. We have seen a little bit diminished numbers from him most recently in the World Championships, but all things considered, he has been as advertised. Leonard's success at Boston College in his freshman year in World Junior Championships, we know what he did for Boston College, just lit it up. One of the best players to go through that university, and that, I think, is ultimately why Capitals fans are excited about seeing him in a Capitals jersey. The 23-24 season started slowly for Leonard, but he later embarked on a remarkable goal-scoring streak in November, finishing the season with 31 goals, 29 assists, and 168 shots on goal in 41 games, as well as accumulating 38 penalty minutes. What are some of the things we know about Ryan Leonard is that he is sort of a Tom Wilson 2.0. He's got the size, he's got the skill set, and I ultimately think that at some point he will actually even be a better player than Tom Wilson is. It just remains to be seen. Taking a look at him, October saw Leonard making a strong start to the season, contributing 1 goal and 4 assists in 6 games. His impressive form continued in November, where he scored 8 goals and recorded 3 assists in 8 games, earning himself the title of Hockey East Player of the Week. In the subsequent months, Leonard continued to make significant contributions, including his participation in the 2024 World Junior Championships, where he helped Team USA secure the gold medal. Again, he is the guy that knocks it out of the park wherever he stops. And I think that ultimately that is why Capitals fans are in such a hurry to see him on the big team. If in any way he is at least a portion of that playing in the NHL, I think the Capitals will be markedly better than they have been in previous years. And you take a look at it, this team is transitioning from an older team to a younger team. And I think that players like Ryan Leonard will be the players to lead the charge in that direction, along with the likes of Andrew Cristall, Ivan Miroshnichenko, Hendrik Slapierre, Connor McMichael, that I think things will change a lot in the future, and Ryan Leonard figures to be a big part of that. So what's the forecast? If we take a look at next season, where will Ryan Leonard be? What kind of player is he at the end of the day? Looking ahead, Leonard is poised to return to Boston College for his sophomore season, where he's expected to assume a more prominent role as the team sets its sights on winning the NCAA Frozen Four finals alongside his line mates Will Smith in Gabe Perreault. So I think that, of course, that is ultimately what they're looking for, is to make another push for the playoffs. Again, that has been the rumor mill about Smith going to the Sharks. Is there any chance that Leonard does join the Capitals, even though he said he wants to play his sophomore season at Boston College? I think stranger things have happened, but all things considered, if you could put a bow on his season, I would say very successful. I don't think that the Capitals could have asked for anything more by selecting Ryan Leonard. There was a lot of players speculated out there that maybe the Capitals should go in on Mishkov. Maybe they should go in on Benson. Well, Mishkov wasn't going to even be an option anyway, as he got selected ahead and went to the Flyers. But all things considered, kind of looking back on this in the rearview mirror, I think that they made the right decision, that Brian McClellan and the Ross Mahoney and the people making the decisions in the draft, they made the right selection by selecting Ryan Leonard, a key piece for years to come. I really do believe in it. As Capitals fans, I know it's hard to be patient, but it will be worth the wait. Just to get it going here, talking about Andrew Cristall, one of the guys that many people had kind of wondered, why didn't he go in the first round? He's the one that's the good friend with Connor Bedard, just has a really great skill, so a big skill set. But what was the hang up on him? Why did he go in the second round? In the second round, the 2023 NHL Draft, the Caps selected Andrew Cristall, a 19-year-old left winger from Vancouver. Cristall was a standout player for the Kelowna Rockets in the Western Hockey League, where he played before being drafted. He had an impressive draft season with 95 points, 39 goals, 56 assists in 54 games, leading the Kelowna Rockets in ranking 6th in the WHL. And, kind of, it's the same thing about Cristall as I would say for Ryan Leonard, two different players, as I think that, Leonard's got the bigger frame. He's got the higher skill set. But I think that Andrew Cristall is a little bit more of a raw talent. But I ultimately think that, if the stars align and he can continue to work on his game, I think the future is bright for the Capitals. Despite the initial concerns that Caps would have to trade up to get Cristall, they could pick him with the 40th overall pick. Caps GM Brian McClellan said that it attempted a couple of opportunities on Thursday to move up to the second round to select Cristall. However, Cristall was still available when the Capitals' turn came, and they quickly made their second draft pick. Again, this is news about Cristall when he was selected last summer in 2023 that, was kind of something that fell in their lap. And some people were surprised. Why was he available? And I think to a certain extent, some fans were thinking, I'm like, if he's so great, why was he available in the second round? I'll talk about that a little bit later in this segment. Cristall's excellent puck skills and hockey IQ make him a dynamic offensive threat and a top 6 winger in the NHL potentially. His skating abilities will require work, but his skill and hockey sense are standout attributes. Even among a deep, skilled draft class, he has a powerful and accurate shot and is an excellent at shooting through traffic and fooling goaltenders. Again, sign us up. We hear oftentimes that the Capitals want to get younger. They want to get faster. Andrew Cristall is that, but we want to see, is he good to go? It's one thing to play good in the WHL, but that doesn't necessarily always translate to the NHL. It would be interesting to see if they could get something like that. But let's kind of turn back the clock a little bit and talk about Cristall. Before playing junior hockey, Cristall played at St. George's Prep School, where he was named a team captain of the U15 squad in his sophomore year and led the team with 80 points in just 27 games. And oftentimes you hear that about these players like Bedard. They're just good hockey players pretty much through their entire careers, even before they make it big. In the following season of the 23-24 season, Cristall continued his strong performance with Kelowna, scoring a career-high 40 goals and making 71 assists, reaching 111 points. He ranked first in both assists and points for the team and was the second in goals, only behind Tig Aginla. Furthermore, he ranked 5th in assists for the Western Hockey League overall. He has been one of the alternate captains for the Kelowna Rockets. So quite a player. And I think that, that's what we know right now is how he's played this last season and kind of just waiting to see on his progress. He is still a young man. And kind of like when I talked about Ryan Leonard, let him grow into it. I don't think it's the right idea to rush these players. I understand what a lot of Capitals fans are thinking. Well, yeah, we kind of want these players on the team right now, but we don't want them on the team because sometimes I think you can stunt their growth if you kind of push them forward before they're ready. But make no mistake about it, I am excited about the possibility of what Cristall can be. There are several possibilities for Cristall. He could make the Caps team out of training camp for the 24-25 season or be sent back to Kelowna. I'm going to say it's going to be a long shot for him to join the team out of camp in the fall. I mean, stranger things happen. And, if he shows the skill set, then that's great. But again, I don't want to rush him if he's not ready. Since he does not turn 20 until February, he is still going to be sent to the Hershey Bears. So he's just going to have to bide his time and wait for the next big thing. But, we're hoping for to see more of him in the future. And hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Cristall said, I'm a highly skilled offensive player. I can produce at a high rate. I like to bring people out of their seats. Capitals fans will eagerly wait to see Cristall bring his skills to the ice when he starts his professional hockey career, whenever that might be. But, that is one of the things that I talked about is the future of this team. You saw the move for the Capitals to get that much younger this past season, and not really by design. It was in part, but then injuries and Nick Backstrom and Evgeny Kuznetsov kind of fast-tracked this youth infusion. And Cristall and Leonard, those are the players. Those are going to be the faces of the Capitals in the future. After Alex Ovechkin hangs up the skates, we're going to need these young stars to take the reins and be the next wave of your Capitals. However, Cristall must work on his skating to reach the next level. His straightaway skating is the most significant area where he needs to improve, but he has shown improvement in the 23-24 season. His coaches have been impressed with his dedication to improving his skating, and they believe that he has the work ethic to continue developing his game. And that is what was said. So to the people that are like, why did Cristall go in the second round and not the first round? That is the thing. Here, let me reiterate. Cristall must work on skating to reach the next level. His straightaway skating is the most significant area where he needs to improve. And it's not enough to be friends with Connor Bedard. It's not enough to be, linked to other big players. We need to see more. Cristall's talent and potential have caught the attention of many in the NHL. He has been compared to players like Johnny Gaudreau and Patrick Kane for his quick hands and ability to make plays in tight spaces. His offensive skills are undeniable, and he has the potential to become a top scorer in the league. Again, it was worth it to get him at number 2. There are no guarantees. And last season, I had the guys from Locked On NHL Prospects. I plan on having them on again in the future. But they said, with these guys, when they're not in the first round, there is the possibility that he is not just NHL quality. I think that that's a bit presumptuous. I think that's maybe getting a little bit ahead, but I think that he has to work on his game. I think that the guys from Locked On NHL Prospects said, it's not a lock. We don't know for sure until he puts on the Capitals jersey in the regular season, if in fact he is that kind of player. But if you can see the highlight package, I mean, oftentimes it's not easy to catch those games, but if you can catch any of the highlights, he does have quite an impressive skill set. And if he can even be just a fraction of that in the NHL, that would be quite something. Cristall can potentially become a star in the NHL, and the Capitals are fortunate to have him. With his skill and determination, he could help the team win their first Stanley Cup since 2018. Capitals fans are excited to see what the future holds for Cristall and their team. That's the biggest thing, patience. We're seeing that as well with the Washington Nationals, where we're starting to see those players, edge closer and closer. James Wood, Brady House, Robert Hassel, those kind of guys, Dylan Cruz. those kind of NHL players are coming in the form of Leonard, in the form of Cristall, that, we're taking a look at this team this past year, didn't really live up to expectation, but I think that the future is bright. And it's just being patient. I do hope that Brian McClellan does make some big moves this summer, but if he doesn't, just know that there are plans for the future.